We all work in technology. We know how this goes. Don't stress.
Yeah. It's going to be happy.
Yeah, I guess we are now live.
Yeah, it's now.
Okay,
I
welcome
guess so.
everyone. So those who are watching live, those who are watching recording, and those who are in the session right now, thank you all for joining. This is GoWP, Go with WordPress. So in this particular season, we are covering WordCamp Europe, which is going to be held on Italy, Torino, from 13 to 15 June 2024. Oh, I'm not nervous. So today we have Ali and Ruth. I think I pronounced it correctly, from communication and marketing team of WordCamp Europe. They will introduce themselves later in more details. So I don't want to take their responsibility of introducing themselves. We are just trying to promote WordCamp Europe from our end, from these videos, from this podcast. Those who are attending WordCamp Europe physically, probably you are going to meet both Ali and Ruth over there. Those who are not able to attend WordCamp Europe personally, then this is the right video that you can watch it and know them better. Also know them about WordCamp Europe. We also covered WordCamp Europe last week as well. If you can also check that video too. So before WordCamp Europe, we'll also cover a few more videos about WordCamp Europe, about WordPress, and about personal things as well. So welcome both of you. So I would like to request Ali to introduce yourself, and then Ruth after Ali.
Well, thanks for having us. I've been looking forward to this, and I'm really glad after I checked all the work that you have done. I'm really glad to be on this or taking part in this. As again, your podcast is really part of what the community, the WordPress community, needs to be growing on. And now to introduce myself, a little fun fact that me and WordPress share the same birth date, except that I was born 10 years earlier.
You don't need to remember the day of birth.
So we share the same date. We're both born on 27 May. WordPress was 2003. I was 9. Anyway, yeah. So, and I guess that's a sign from where the passion for this project began, because it began at a very, very young age. At 13, I created my first free website. It wasn't WordPress. It was some sort of something very, very basic.
Yeah.
But then I discovered WordPress through a friend, and a 13 to almost 14-year-old kid will not have the financial means or knowledge to do any of this. So that friend started introducing me to how to install it to Apache, to like local servers. And that's when I started tweaking around it, discovering it, making mock websites for myself, for anything that ever existed in life. Like I was like, yeah, I'm doing something. I'm the future. And then after pursuing like my studies, and I was in management first. So after I finished that, I took a couple of courses that were related to the field. So I was like, yeah, I know something from the past. I need to revive this. And it turned out to be a real passion because it was still there. So the first professional website I built with WordPress was a blog about martial arts, to cover martial arts news. Then from there, I started taking it more professionally. So I launched DigiCartel, which was working between Lebanon, the UK, and some of the nearby areas, mostly GCC. Then I recently discontinued the name at the end of 2022, and now I'm preparing for another adventure, still WordPress based. And I'm I'm proud and lucky to be part of WordCamp Europe as an organizer, and to be working with really one of the most active and amazing communities that I've been in contact with professionally, where people are like, as an organizer yourself, you may see that although it's not scripted or written in some sort of, there is the code of conduct, but there's a bigger and more important code that no one shows, some sort of unwritten rules, but somehow it's all positive and everyone agrees to that and everyone is aiming to the same direction. And this is something like that makes me every day look forward to achieving for this community and to do what's better for them and like for the community, not just the people, like to grow it even more, like day by day. So yeah, I'm glad to be where I am with them now, and I'm glad to be on this show and looking forward to this.
Yeah. So Ruth, now it's your turn.
Hello, I'm Ruth, and I got involved with WordPress back in around 2006, 2007. I started learning the platform, and one of the reasons that I chose WordPress at that time was that I was a designer who had recently become a solopreneur. And so I was running a business and wearing all the hats and trying to learn how to run a business. And I was a designer who could code, but I wasn't a full-fledged developer. And I wasn't trying to do all of that myself. So in order to build more robust sites, I wanted the benefits of having something that would be more of a content management system. And at the time, there were 3 big players in the marketplace to consider. And because I was a designer, I really wanted something that was designer friendly in terms of interacting with it, but also something that wouldn't tie my hands. I wanted full control. And the other criteria that I had was that I knew I wouldn't know everything, and I wanted to be in a community where people were helpful, willing to help, not shooting people down, not insulting about if you don't know something. And I was seeing that in the WordPress community. And so the people who were introducing me to the tool were very generous with their ideas, their time, their support, their encouragement. And so that is what drew me into the community, and that is the glue that keeps me in this community. My work has come in and out of WordPress itself, but I feel very passionately about the community. So my first WordCamp was 2008 in San Francisco. And then I went to New York for 2009, and then in Philly I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We started our first WordCamp in 2010. So from there, I became a volunteer here, super enthusiastic about being a local person who could help people. And then we had the first 2 WordCamp US here locally as well. So I can feel the excitement of what the local team is going through right now. And I wasn't even working directly with WordPress at the time. I was with a big enterprise company, and I took days off to actually volunteer for that conference. It just felt really important to be there and to be a local host. And that's how I got connected into the WordCamp Europe community. So they warmly encouraged me to become a volunteer for their WordCamp. And I heard about it at both of our WordCamp US, and then in 2017, I actually made the leap and went to Paris as a volunteer for WordCamp Europe for the first time.
Yeah. It's really amazing things that you were able to make the first WordCamp in 2008. So currently I am checking your WordPress starter profile. So you have like attendee list, like virtual attendee. So while checking your profile, it seems that how much dedicated you are with WordPress. Even you are not working directly with WordPress right now, but you are somewhere in WordPress, either early in the morning or either early, like late evening. So you are connected day by day in the daily basis with WordPress. I can easily relate by checking your WordPress profile. So I was also checking the WordPress profile of Ali as well. So how he's doing, how he get started. So the good thing is that WordPress and I share the same birthday, so it's also written in his profile. You don't need to like remember the birthday of WordPress as well. So both of you have like different story, how you started WordPress and how you started WordPress. I have a similar story, quite similar. Like I was doing my graduation in computer science, especially IT. And one of my friend come to me and say that you are doing IT. I think at that time I was in first, second semester. I had no idea about how to build a website, to be honest. I had no idea about like server in Apache or some blah, blah, blah. But one of my friend come to me and he said that I need a website. One of my friend is looking for a website. So, and he said to me, and then as I'm doing my graduation in computer science, so I had to do some research and finally figure it out WordPress. And then I use that tool, install a theme, add some post and page, make the contact page, and that's it. So that was the entry point in my WordPress. And in 2012, we organized a WordPress meetup in our local town. And then at that time, I got a chance to meet with like veteran WordPress developers, theme authors, theme developers. And from that day, I am into WordPress, and from 2012 to 2024, in these 12 years of journey, I am like every day with WordPress, like almost 24 hours and like 365 days with WordPress. I have no any alternative things beside WordPress, like income, t-shirt, even cap, even pen, like everything I have, like from WordPress. so, so, so it's a WordPress. Like I'm a WordPress guy. I do have iPad. I also want this in WordCamp. So you can you can easily relate. So yeah. Okay. Ali.
Yeah.
So what is the current role that you had to perform in WordCamp Europe for this particular edition?
I'm currently as an organizer in the marketing, PR, and comms team or communications team. Our role is like it's a vast, if we can call it a fan of some. I don't want to call them mini roles because as an organizer yourself, they are not many. It takes some work to get them achieved or get them done. But it's like it starts from selecting or helping the team in the process of selecting media partners, then to developing and sending the press releases, the part that's related to correcting the information or writing some parts of it. At the moment, I'm divided between, if we may call it, two subcategories, which is one is assisting with the PR team, and two is what I guess led us to this interview, which is being in connection with the local team to promote not just the event as WordCamp Europe, but as WordCamp Europe happening in Torino, because around 3,000 people are expected to be at the event, which is a huge number. And as we all know, most of them are not even from the country. Let's not say locals. So for me, as someone who came to this city recently, a few years back, and somehow integrated in the city or in the local community, I know how hard it may be for someone to enjoy their experience. Like if you're coming for 3 days or a week or a month, or to make a vacation in here and benefit from the event being in here. I proposed the idea to the team that let's do something that makes everyone's life easier so they can focus and enjoy the experience of WordCamp Europe. And there was the idea to promote everything from A to Z, literally. Like the topics we are tackling are vary from coming from your home country, no matter where it is, to Torino, through every different. I don't want to spoil much because we will have the blog posts published imminently. So it's from getting to town, to how you can move around town, to where you can stay, to what to enjoy, to how to maximize your experience at WordCamp Europe in Torino, to what not to miss on, to how to mostly connect the right way with people even outside of the venue, like where to go. Like some people I know are willing to come here and try to, even for a short period, live like local, because some people enjoy this while traveling. I do enjoy it as well. Like when I'm traveling, I like to do the effort or go the extra mile to understand how people are living in here. Like even if I'm going alone, like I want. So apart from the PR work, which I'm a part of, the actual PR related work, this is some sort of marketing the venue in this town work that I'm involved in at the moment, and as well as with the local, like with the approval of the local team, and both the local and the comms team, promoting, because the marketing or advertising market in here is slightly different from even other cities in Italy. So we are also using this to our advantage. We are using the same tactics, the same means of advertising on the ground, not just digitally. So we are doing traditional advertising for WordCamp Europe. So this is, I guess this sums up all the work that I'm involved in at the moment.
Yeah, I can understand the work that you have, the emails that you need to reply, the communication that you need to make.
Yeah.
Probably you are using Free Scout or Help Scout. So like inbox says, someone will message you, hey, I have assigned you an email, please reply it. So I know all the things. So
yeah,
and we are doing all these things as a volunteering work. So for free, but with the passion, but with the dedication. By like allocating our free time, allocating our family time, allocating our like friends time for WordPress to make that event successful. I think probably during the closing ceremony of the WordCamps, you don't miss to see the face of each organizers. Try to see the face of each organizers and you can see the satisfaction, even doing all the things for free. Because we were able to gather like 3,000 people in the same place from different parts of the world, and for the common goal, for the like growth of WordPress, for making living of thousands and millions of people worldwide. Probably you can see that happiness in all the organizers and all the volunteers after making that event successful. Okay, Ruth, on the top of that, do you want to add something? Or he already covered that?
Yes, please. Yes, to actually piggyback onto what you just said, I was at WordCamp Europe last year in Athens, and that was my, I think, fourth in person, but I'd also attended the ones that were virtual during when everything went virtual. And when I was there, part of it again as a volunteer, and we were wrapping it up, I just kept getting this pull. I was like, I want to get involved. I want to get involved. I don't know how much work it's going to be, but I want to get involved. And I had a lot of ideas to kind of piggyback onto what Ali was saying. I feel very strongly about making it a travel experience and welcoming people and helping people connect. And I was reaching out on Slack after the conference saying, hey, who's still in town? Who wants to meet up? And I found a lot of people, especially new people, who were kind of at loose ends after the conference. And so they were like, hey, I'm so glad somebody said they're still here. And so we meet up, and after the conference, you're just exhausted. And so just really casual, climb up to the top of a mountain and sit there and chat until we watch sunset, and then go to dinner. Just really casual things. And you make so many friends at WordCamp. One of the things that I think many people, I think, only make the mistake once, or unless they really have to, of leaving the day after the after party. That's a lot. You've been go, 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 and then you got to pack and run to a plane. And people are always saying, oh, I wish I weren't leaving. I wish I could hang out more. And so I think that finding ways to help people connect before, as they're planning, to understand there's a lot they're going to want to do. There's going to be a lot of people that they'll want to meet, and to really connect with the city and find ways to stay if they can, is important. I'm on the communications team, the PR team. Also, the PR team is a subset of the communications team, but it was voluntary to step up for that. So I'm working on both of those with Ali. And then when the local team information came up, I was really excited about it. My background is in user experience design, content strategy, and connecting. And I speak many languages, and I'm involved in many cultures. So it means a lot to me to be involved in travel related content and helping people connect across cultures. And so actually I am part of the Spanish speaking community as well. And I enjoyed your conversation with Ohaya. I feel the same way about that community. I started attending their WordCamps virtually during the pandemic shutdowns, and WordCamp España was the first one online in Spanish. And I attended the Zoom parties, which were at first just way over my head with so many accents and people talking at once and everything. But they warmly welcomed me, and to the point that I attended 6 virtual WordCamps in Spanish. And they were always sending me messages, inviting me to come. And then I went to my first one in person in Costa Rica this November. So actually, when we were doing partner selection of when we were choosing who we were reviewing during the PR selection process and then pairing up with our media partners, I ended up picking up researching several that were publishing in other languages. And so my partners are in Spain. And then I am personally really excited about this conference being in Italy, because that's the reason I got my first passport, and the reason I started teaching myself Italian as my 4th language and my first self-taught language many, many years ago. And I still haven't been to Italy. So this will be my first trip to Italy. And I'm learning so much about Torino as I read through the articles, not just to make them sound good in native English, but to actually add links and research the concepts and make sure that it makes sense. When I'm talking about Roman ruins, I don't even understand it in English sometimes. I have to look up the things and try to shape it so that this thing that I've never heard of in this architecture is something that people can understand. So like Ali, I'm really passionate about this series of articles that we're putting together, and hoping that they'll be helpful to people, so that when people are so busy just running around getting their flights and doing their work and everything before the trip, that the 3,000 people who are coming have a little bit more of a travel guide through WordCamp and a little bit more of a welcome.
Exactly. So you are in that particular team where you will get chance to communicate or connect with all the attendees, media partners, and the top people of WordPress as well. Communication. So lots of emails and are coming in your inbox with so many queries. Probably you have to sort them out. Marketing team, you are doing amazing job. Like, you are spreading the things all over the globe. And thank you also for selecting GoWP as a media partner as well. GoWP as a media partner as well. And PR. So PR should be good, so that people will come to the event, enjoy the event, and learn from the event. Okay. Ali, do you know what are the things that attendees can expect from this particular WordCamp Europe? What are the things that they are going to take away in that 3 days events?
Well, like, for me personally, if I had the chance to be like, if I could duplicate my life to be an attendee at the same time working, because this is not possible. But it's the sense of not just networking, like this is very important and everyone will be looking to this, but also you are here to learn from the speaks, to watch the speakers, to the workshops, and everything. But for me, it's what you mentioned about earlier about people from different backgrounds, people from different professional backgrounds even. So for me personally, this would be the most amazing learning experience for someone who is willing to grow as a professional, especially if we are talking about a community-based professional. Like we're not just some sort of professionals in a field. I don't want to name a certain field so we don't get it wrong. But yeah, this is not general. This is everyone, as I said earlier, aiming towards the same goal or towards the same community. So for me personally, it's to learn as much as you can, enjoy the food. That's number one priority. And like you're in Italy, enjoy it. So I won't talk about the food now. You will see when you are here, to anyone watching and to yourself. So yeah, like and I hope more people, because I understand most attendees know the value and importance of Contributor Day, but if you are willing to be part of this is your first step along the way in this community. Like this is the A step towards being something in the WordPress community, whether it's local, international, or WordCamp. So having your name in there, being in there in presence, it will change your perspective. So don't miss out on Contributor Day, please, anyone watching. Especially that, like, we know not everyone can make it to Contributors Day, technically speaking. So yeah, like for me, it's these three: food, Contributor Day, and learning from everyone around.
Yeah. I was also checking the speakers page of WordCamp Europe. We have great line of speakers from different backgrounds,
Exactly.
with wide varieties of experience. Someone is talking about probably accessibility. Someone is talking about design. Someone is talking about themes. So probably you are not those who are attending physically. If you are not able to make all the sessions, that isn't possible, but select the best one, which you are passionate. So note it down and note it down the time and a schedule and try to attend that session. For me, like as an attendee, when I usually attend WordCamps, I have like that set of things, like I need to attend these sessions from this hall, and this hall. I will do networking and I will network with at least like 15, 20, 30, 50, how many people that I would like to network. I will categorize in that way. And if I have a plan to meet someone specifically, so I also note it down. I also try to schedule a talk with, schedule a time with that particular person about his or her availability in that particular WordCamp, probably for 5 to 10 minutes. And I also love to take photos. So I take a lot of photos with so many WordPresses, so that when we come back home, so that would be a great memory as well. Because between 3,000, 4,000 people, it's really hard to connect with all of them. But if we take the photos, probably we can come back home and create the memories, and like we can start networking online as well. And after party, so all of the attendees usually get exhausted at the end of the day, on the third day. But don't miss the after party. If you miss the after party, you will always feel regret that you miss the greatest opportunity to network with so many people. Because in after party, we usually are free. and we usually get a chance to talk with so many people in a single place, and all of them will be there for the networking. There will be no sessions, there will be no photograph, blah, 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 nothing. All of them will be there for networking. Some of them are looking for you, and some of probably you might looking for someone else to talk and network. So I have so many good friends to whom I connect for the first time in after party, and try to attend side events as well. There are so many companies, especially in flexible event, they usually organize the side events. So there are so many side events, and in the same time, in the same day, try to select them. In WordCamp Asia, I was not able to make many of them because of the time schedule. So some of them will overlap. So try to make the best, at least best for you. Try to make the best side events as well. So that will be added benefits. And those who are planning the flexible event, don't fly like just before the day of the events. Try to fly a few days before the events. Try to roam around the city, visit the place. And there are so many WordPresses already in the particular city, so that you can talk with them. You can start doing networking before the events and explore the place as well. So these are the things that I usually follow while visiting WordCamps, like international WordCamps. So Ruth, on the top of that, do you have any things in your mind that you would like to suggest those who are attending WordCamps, particularly this WordCamp Europe? And what are the things that they need to consider or they need to know before flying to Italy?
I agree with all of that. You guys had great suggestions. On the topic of arriving early and finding other WordPressers, the Make WordPress Slack channel is a place to do that. And that a lot of people, I think, don't always realize that, especially if they're first timers. Maybe they haven't set up a Make WordPress profile yet, but you'll need that for contributor day, but you will also really want that so that you're in the channel with everybody else. If you're a volunteer, you've probably already been told to set up a profile. If you're a sponsor, if you're some of the various roles that are involved, you probably have already had that. But the majority of people, if you're kind of new to WordPress and WordPress community and haven't done a contributor day, you probably don't have a profile on WordPress.org. And it's very easy to set up. And then you can fill out your details there. And then you can also join the Slack channel. And so I think it's all under the same WCEU channel on Slack. We don't really have sub channels right now for, hey, I'm in town, but generally that's where people go and say, you can also coordinate. So you're flying in at this time, see if somebody else wants to take the train with you, or if you want to do a ride share from somewhere. It's a really great way to kind of coordinate that information. Last year, actually, I was arriving in Athens, and to Ganga's point, allow yourself extra days, because twice when I've flown to WordCamp Europe, I have lost my first 24 hours and I've been rescheduled. Like, I didn't even get to leave the US until 24 hours later. So I started my international journey. So my long flight with not very much sleep and then connecting and all of that. And so I got to my Airbnb last year at 2 a.m. on contributor day. So, and then I still needed to buy a SIM card, and then I got lost in Athens, and everything worked out. But it was one of those things where, wow, if it had been 24 hours later, that would have been basically my whole first day of WordCamp Europe being, involved in all of that. So give yourself extra time. I would say more than one day, because if your flight is exactly 24 hours later, you're not going to get just like a 3-hour delay or something like that. You're going to have a whole day lost. But that's just something to roll with. But then, I had a thought with that. Oh yeah. So initially, actually, I had reached out on the Slack channel. So if I had arrived on schedule, I had actually reached out to say, I'm arriving late at night, like close to midnight. Is anybody taking the train from then? It might be after the last train. Is anybody interested in carpooling together, sharing a taxi? Various options. And so actually, before I left the US, I think it was 2 people I didn't know and 1 person I knew, or something like that. And it was through the community. I knew that everybody was, vetted and somebody I could safely travel with. But I had an offer of somebody to ride the train with me, somebody to share a car with me, and somebody was actually driving from the airport that night. And so just by reaching out on Slack, I knew that when I was arriving in a completely new city in a completely different language, even though I'd been studying Greek, I wasn't at a level of doing that much in it, that I would have sort of a safe space to land. And then 24 hours later, when I did get there, I didn't have all of that in place. I did miss the last train. I did need a taxi. I didn't have cash. None of them wanted that. But I started the conversation. This is a tip I highly recommend. Learn some of the language, at least a little bit, at least some polite words, at least, I mean, it's a courtesy. It gives you more access to a culture and more understanding. But when I was at the airport, I got turned down by several taxi drivers in the taxi line. Like I had to go from car to car. And the last one told me no at first, but I had started the conversation in Greek. And so I had approached him politely in Greek. And then, after saying no, he's like, okay, well, basically, like, what kind of credit card do you have? Because he didn't want to take a credit card. And then he gave in, and I don't know if it was a combination of, me traveling solo as a woman, or if it was the fact that I used Greek and I was polite and but he took care of me. And we had a great conversation in the car. When I got into the car, he asked, do you need Wi-Fi? So he hooked me up to his Wi-Fi in his car. And then I was able to communicate with my friend who had the Airbnb, because that part, once I left the airport, I wasn't going to have internet. So I was going to be off communication in a car with a stranger in a foreign city. And I had somebody else who had the key to where I was going to stay. So there was a piece of coordinating, to not have my friend standing on the street for a long time. And that all worked out perfectly. So if you make the effort to learn a little bit of the language and be respectful and be polite as you're arriving, you'll have an easier entry into the country and connecting with people. I had some other thoughts there, but they're escaping me at the moment.
Yeah, I can understand that. So,
but be open and be flexible. Also, when your plans don't go as planned, don't get upset. Just roll with it. We are where we are. We only have this present moment. Just bring yourself back to center. Breathe. I meditate daily, and so it's a practice that I can tap into when it's when I'm running through the airport and the check-in counter is closed because my train didn't get there, and okay, this is where I am. I'm gonna get a hotel with a pool tonight.
that is all about life. That is all about the incidents, and we have to face that type of complexity, that type of issues sometimes. So, but it's better to be prepared before traveling, so that the entire journey will be easier. And if you have any t-shirt that is written W somewhere in your t-shirt, try to wear that. So probably you're gonna find the similar person in the airport, or probably in the train station, or probably in the hotel. You do know, in WordCamp Asia, I was in a hotel, in the hotel lobby, and there was a person, and probably I was wearing the WordCamp t-shirt, and there was also another person. He came near to me and said that, you are coming for WordCamp Asia? And I said, yes. And he said, I am also coming for WordCamp Asia. And we introduced each other, and he was just a WordPress user, actually. And he was he lived in Thailand. He's an American, but he live in Thailand. And for WordCamp Asia, he's just a WordPress user. For WordCamp Asia, he fly from Thailand to Taipei for WordCamp Asia. We introduced each other, and next day I got a chance to interview with him, and the video is in the GoWP YouTube channel. You can check it out. So,
Awesome.
So that because we are not able to go and say that, hey, you are generally in problem. So if we wear that t-shirt, or probably some signage of WordPress, probably we can get chance to connect with the people who are also in the similar field, and probably we can help each other, as you said, carpooling or taxi sharing or something like that. That would be easier. And some of the people are really introvert, and it's really hard to go and talk with them. Or so if we are able to wear such signage, t-shirts or something like that, it would be easier as well. Okay, I think we talked
Good
about.
point. I also, Kalinka, can I just add, the lanyard. If you have a lanyard from a previous WordCamp, if you want, like, if you tie that to your bag or something like that, then you also have like a signal from the back, or like if you have a code on over your t-shirt. And you're right, in Athens, we were walking around, we're like, hey, WordPresser. So we'd make new friends on the street in Athens.
So it's like a festival for us, like 3,000 people in a same city, living in a different houses. Some live in that hotel, some live in that hotel. In Taipei last time in WordCamp USA, we have a like WordCamp organizers group in WhatsApp, and whenever someone is going for lunch or dinner or breakfast or snacks, we usually text them, "Hey, I am going there. Would you like to join?" And some of the people will already be there. Say, "I'd like to join with you." So that is how we can also utilize our time. We can also we can have more fun in that way. So okay, so we talk about WordPress. We talk about WordCamp Europe. Probably we are going to see all of you in Italy. Now, let's talk about something different, probably about health. So we all sit in chair like for 10 hours, 12 hours, sometimes 15, 16 hours, work all day or night while preparing WordCamp. Like there will be so many sleepless nights as well during the last hour of the preparation. So what do you have any like schedule or plan to make yourself fit? Like Ruth said that she do some meditation. So Ali, do you have any like plan or some strategy that makes you fit, like clothes or something like that? What do you do?
Yeah, sure, sure. For me, it's you will all see hopefully this when you come to Torino. It's a really beautiful city. So since I moved here, like this has been and the weather has not always been stable, but when it's sunny, it's clear, it's stable. I can take a day off from daily life, not just work.
Oh.
I make sure to go on even the little hikes. There are a lot of sites that you can go to, lots of hills, lots of mountains. And that for me recently, because it wasn't possible before because I lived in 4 or 5 different cities, but none of them had this much greenery nearby or inside the city itself. Like it's within quick reach. So this has been my equivalent to meditation. And if I may say that this is some sort of meditation, even if you go there on your own or with friends, like you get to change, because every time I went on one, I came back literally feeling better. So this is number one. Number two is something that, and I know most developers from all backgrounds suffer with this, like unorganized sleep. And we all have, as you said, the sleepless nights and what they call all-nighters. Yeah, so we all have been there, or us still have to do it occasionally from time to time when there's something urgent, as you said. But I once read from a book, like it was a tip or something from a book or a podcast. I don't remember correctly because it's been for 3 years, since like 3 years. And it was that to organize your sleep, just force yourself, like not force, but make yourself wake up at a certain time. Even like if you sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning, make sure to wake up if you want to wake up at 7 or 8, usually. Make sure you wake up, like set the alarm or something. After some point, it will regulate itself. So I'm not an expert. No one should get my tip on this, but I tried this myself, and then it made a difference. It made a difference. Like I used to suffer to sleep because I was, as I said, used to stay up late to working or screen time, which hurt. So after I after a while, like it starts getting better. Now, as soon as I close my laptop, let's say have half an hour or an hour before sleep, and then once I go to bed, I'm gone to bed. That's it. Like I don't have this, yeah. So for me, it's nature, walking or running, because I also do that. I enjoy that. If I may suggest a personal tip for people who are fans of sports or football, because I'm a big fan myself. Playing it is like it's like a detox for everything, health, mind, body, soul. For me personally, but watching it is not. It's the complete opposite. So, so if you want to be nervous 24/7, follow the news and the results. But if you want to feel good, like cleanse yourself, just play it. So for me, yeah, this is my, I don't call it a routine, because it's not like, it's not, let's say, periodically or weekly or something. It's 1 week I would do this activity, or one day I will do this. It depends on the weather, on availability, or on how tired I am, on how busy the day is. So, but for me, generally, it's this home cooked meals that I cook myself. So this, especially in here in Italy, I'm telling you again about the food, like you will have a blast. So if you learn to cook a couple of things and
Yeah.
like do it yourself, yeah, it's what I'm swearing by at the moment. And lots of natural we were discussing this actually yesterday, herbs and natural vitamins, like this sort of stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah. If you spend some of your time in the kitchen preparing your lunch or dinner, probably that would be a great exercise. Like
yeah,
you walk around and around. So that is also great.
exactly.
So as you said, like hiking or trekking around the city, that is also a good one. And the important thing that I liked most about you is that it's a bedtime, nothing else, no phone, no laptops.
Yeah.
So there are so many people like they turn off their laptop, go into the bed. So so take my phone and like probably like scrolling shorts and reels for like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
That is a really bad habit, and I'm trying to get rid of it. But still, I would like to get rid of it and try to wake up at the same time in the daily basis and try to sleep on the same time, so that if we are able to make that habit, then that would be a great help. Okay, Ruth, what about you? What you do?
I agree with all of that, except I actually believe in getting ample sleep. So I adjust my sleep schedule to make sure I have enough rest so that I'm functional, because at some point it's just too much if I get too little sleep. But I like the idea of being up at a certain time and, seeing all the daylight. I mean, I dream of the sunrise, but I'm more of a night owl. I'm more of a sunset. um yes, and also, when you're feeling that you're not being as productive or as, clear-headed as you think you should be, but you also are even on a deadline, walk away. I am so much more productive if I go walk away. And sometimes it's even, I need to start my day with some time outdoors in the sunshine and then come to my desk. And then I can sit there and I can crank things out for 4 hours straight with so much more focus than if I treat it as like the reward for getting my work done. Because I really need that outdoor time. I need to walk. I need to be out in the sunshine. In the summer, I swim every day, weather permitting. So
Awesome.
I go to a city pool and I swim, and then I bring a picnic dinner so that I can sit and watch sunset. And I just really solar charge, get all of the summer, because we have the season, so we don't have year-round warmth and sunshine like that. I also dance. I do Latin dance, so that like when Ali plays football, it's several hours of sort of sneaky exercise. You're having fun and you got a really good workout. It's not like going to a gym where you're like really focused on just working out. I also cook, and I agree, just moving around in the kitchen, having the relationship with your food, creating it with love, and just making that sort of an experimental playtime is great. And then to Ali's point about vitamins and things like that, I'm going to bring that back to WordCamp travel. Personally, I take traditional Chinese medicine. I don't usually use Western pharmaceuticals. And so I use some for my allergies, but also some for immune support. And when I travel, I make sure I have them and take vitamin D and other vitamins just to supplement. Like before I'm leaving, I know I'm already a little stressed packing and everything, just to keep my system functioning in an optimal way. And then, through all the various travel, not sleeping well on the plane and everything. And actually, when I got to Berlin in 2019, my WordCamp roommate and I were sharing a room and, sleeping on, the European beds are just like these little beds where you get one for two people, but you're like in a small room with a bed together. And she arrived with a cold and she's like, I'm so sorry, I've got a cold. And I was like, well, if you're open to it, if you want to try these, I'm not giving medical advice here, but I offered her and she was open to it. And she swore by it because we were up nonstop. We were word camping all day and then going to all the parties and then hanging out in the lobby with people, like talking our voices hoarse until, I don't know, like 4 a.m. or something like that. And neither of us got sick. We stayed healthy the whole time. We were totally exhausted and run down, but we were fine. And I was like, okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's sort of like, it's got to be in my travel kit.
Yeah.
And then also candied ginger. I carry candied ginger with me in general in my bag, but you want something to keep your voice while you're talking to everybody at WordCamp. So I think some people use cough drops or mints. I swear by candied ginger.
So if someone needs that, and if someone is watching this video, and if you need that, you can go to Ruth and ask for her about the candy.
I usually have extra in my bags to share with people.
So yeah, that is also a good help for others as well. Exactly. So if we want to work for like long period of time, I think we need to start it from today. We need to concern about our health, about our like sleep, rest, everything. But because we need to make our living from this particular work, because we don't have we are not planning to change our living in very short period of time, like doing something extra, something different. If we have to sit in front of our computer for like whole life, then probably we need to start doing things from today. Probably need to join clubs like regular hiking, regular trekking, probably go some meditation as well. So I think if we do that type of particular things, then we can be sustainable for longer period of time to do the better work, to contribute to the community, and to make better this wave actually. Okay, I think before wrap up, we have Subhasis and Siva as well. So I'd like to ask Subhasis, like, do you have anything to add? Anyway, Subhasis is also attending WordCamp Europe and also volunteering there. You are muted, Subhasis. Subhasis, you are muted. Can you unmute? Yeah, please. We are not able to listen you.
Yeah. We are not getting the voice.
Subhasis, we are not able to listen you. No.
That
Okay.
may be another software that is connected with the devices. Let me add something about our Subhasis.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, good evening to everybody. Good evening, Ruth. Good evening, Adil. Good evening, Ali. Good evening, Shiva. And good evening to Ganga as well. So, yeah. So this is really exciting. WordCamp Europe, joining WordCamp Europe for me is the first time. I was really keen to join WordCamp Europe last year, where it was taking place in Athens, but I couldn't accumulate the means to attend that. but this time I was pretty much focused to attend, because I know this is a huge global event, and this is probably the topmost celebration of WordCamps across the world. So I have participated in WordCamp Asia last year. This time I couldn't make it in Taiwan. Last year I was in Bangkok. I was one of the speakers as well over there. This time, so I didn't want to miss WordCamp Europe this time by any chance. I have a couple of questions to you both, if you allow me to ask. Like, as we were discussing that touchdown Italy a little before than the event would be the best option to acclimatize with the weather, to know the country, to know the cities. So I'm planning to reach beforehand, before a few days before the event starts. I'll be attending the contributor day as well. I'll be participating. I've already applied for that. It has been granted as well. And I'm really happy that I have been chosen as one of the volunteers as well for the entire event. So my question, first question would be, the after party is taking place on the 15th in the same venue, or will it be taking place in a separate venue?
It'll be the same venue. And I'm so glad you came back to that, because we have so much that we didn't yet get to talk about the local team and what they've prepared. So yes, the after party will be at the Lingato Center, and it will be, we can't tell you what's going to happen, but they're trying to make it so that there's something for everyone, something for everyone's comfort level. So, we've had places where we've had places to talk and places that have, had dance music and things like that in the past. They're trying to make sure that there's a wide variety of ways that people can connect at the end, because it is kind of your last chance to see a lot of the people before everybody leaves and it's the last official gathering. So yes, we're very excited about that.
So Ruth, will it continue till late night?
Probably. I don't schedule yet, but it usually does.
Yeah, that would be better actually, because my concern is the very next morning, very next morning, I'll be leaving Torino to travel down to Milan, which is not very far from Torino.
It's less than 2 hours, almost 2 hours.
Yeah. So it's around 2 hours by train. And to get the visa, we had already have to book the train tickets, because our transportation ticket had to submit for visa. For getting the visa. So now, and it's in the early morning. The train is at the, if I remember correctly, it is at 5:50 in the morning.
Then you can have the whole night party and direct go to the train station rather than.
That's like question, Ganga. If it is late night, if the party continues till late night, it's good for me, because in that case I'll be carrying my luggage. I'm sure there will be a provision to keep my luggage in a safe room, like other attendees and other volunteers and organizers, where I can keep the luggage, and early next morning I can leave directly to the local station, train station. Is that possible, Ruth?
Well, I don't know the exact schedule, but I do know attendees have done that in the past. Ali, do you know how late the party runs? In the past,
I have an idea. Like I don't have the exact time, but from what I've heard from the venue and from what I know as a resident of the city, our latest public transport departs at 1:30, and the earliest is around 4 or 4:30, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, in that period, the party will be definitely ending after 1:30. So it will definitely end like, I'm not sure about the number, but it will extend to over that period, because the discussion was how will people who, like, just like your case, how will they be going around if needed? So the thing is, like, I don't want to go to where we discuss the stations and stuff, but around the venue there's a station, a train station. That's one thing. So, but also there will be taxis around. Like there will be some sort of transport arranged for people who are gonna need it. And from what I've heard from many people who are attending or planning to attend, they were like, even if the party ends at some time, we will take ourselves somewhere else. So, like, we will be around town. So you will not be left alone. That's that I can assure you of. But yeah, I'm not sure if it will extend till early morning, but I don't believe so. But again, they already thought about this, the local team and the venue, the management of the venue. They were like, yeah, we thought about this and we will offer a solution for this. Like, not a solution, but there will be taxis, there will be, we will write again from the series of our posts at I guess the last or before the last one will be how to maximize your experience at WordCamp Europe in Torino. So in there will be the tips and the options available for what's to happen between after party and people that need to leave early or leave late. So it's gonna be all covered.
Yeah, I think
so. Maybe Ali, is it possible for me to get communication from or transportation from the venue to the local railway station? Can that be arranged, like
yeah, sure.
from the organizing team?
From the team, I don't think so. But from what the venue management said, that usually when there are events, there are taxi companies that will be there. So, and they already, the local team already provided us with information for many numbers, like many options, not just one option. And I personally tried these companies for me and for guests who were here before. So their service is really good. It's really well. It's really timely. And they cover, because we have 3 main train stations, so they cover all 3. So wherever you want to go, like, it's possible.
Great. Thank you so much.
We may also need to explore more about the nightlife of Torino and all other things.
Yes. We have 3 days, complete 3 days. So don't worry, Shiva. We are there to explore. We will rock in Turin.
Before
actually,
we are talking about the healthy developer. We do not need to spend all our night by walking.
Are you arriving before the conference? Because I actually meant to mention this earlier. The local team, the whole country of Italy was part of this application, and they chose Torino because it was a more cost-effective place and the only city that has, like, completely been supporting us. It's unprecedented, the level of involvement the city has offered. So Turismo Torino is a partner. We have all these different ways of being supported that I have not seen for any other WordCamp Europe. And so there will be a discounted museum pass available to us, which is also unusual. I don't think that's ever been offered for WordCamp Europe. So if you, in addition to your nightlife, have some time during the days before the conference starts, then you might want to check that out as well.
Yes, absolutely. We will.
Okay.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
And regarding, because you mentioned the communication when we have the information, like when we have it, because there, if you said you already got your ticket and Contributors Day registration, right? They are sorted.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you will receive the PRs when they are out. Like you will receive the updates immediately. And we will be pushing 2 updates this week. One about, as I mentioned earlier, arriving to the city from all the different nearby locations, because not everyone will have a flight to Torino's airport. So we are covering Torino's airport, all 3 of Milano's airport, and a couple of other routes inside Italy. So we are covering this, and then we are covering the public transport, because Ruth just reminded me of this. In addition to that discount, also this is not the WordCamp exclusive, so they didn't offer this to us, but there are some tricks. So instead of buying daily pass for public transport, you can save a lot by buying the weekly pass. So we will be highlighting these and giving the exact rates and how to get them with links with everything. So you will have all the time, hopefully, to prepare for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be very helpful for the international attendee and international traveler,
Yeah.
because it is under the attendee experience, because we need to give a good experience to every attendee. And we can also have some kind of booth who can share this kind of information from our WordCamp also, not like working with WordPress, installing WordPress. We can also do that kind of booth also on the WordCamp event. Okay, before wrapping up this.
Shiva, may I just add, I think that the community booth, I think that the work that you discussed with Ohio, I think that they're going to have some of this information there.
Yeah. If you have any other kind of thing that need to be mentioned from the local team, you can continue. If you have that kind of special thing,
Definitely should, I guess.
Because we need to cover that thing also.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. You
Do you
kind of
have anything?
overlap.
Yeah. Anything to share from the local team, because we are representing their team
Oh,
also.
thank you. Thank you for that invitation, because they did send me a document today that I really wanted to make sure that we mentioned some of the points. They are very happy, so excited to be hosting this conference. And the Lingato Center is actually an old Fiat factory that's been completely renovated and repurposed into this amazing facility. So it has the conference facility, plus it has 2 hotels, it has a shopping mall, it has movie theaters. It's very much like its own little city in itself, where we're actually having our event. And it was really important to the local team to try to get our after party there, and to try to make sure that we have events that are easily accessible from this venue. On the note of accessibility, it is also fully accessible for people who have various accessibility needs. They also wanted me to mention we have arranged for childcare for people, for children 3 to 10 years old. And on Contributor Day, there will also be a youth and teens workshop. So that registration will be opening very soon. We're about to make the announcement, and I got the okay from the team to go ahead and say that today. So if people are traveling with families, those are things that would be important to know.
Yeah.
And also, yes, like Ali said earlier, we're going to have lots of great Italian food, but we can't tell you what yet. But we're sworn to secrecy.
Sorry.
But Ali has been taste testing it all.
Yeah, on a daily basis. Like I will pick them.
I think we need to wrap up now. Thank you so much, Ali and Ruth, for your time. Thank you, Subhasis, for joining us today. We talked about WordPress and WordCamp Europe as well. So probably we will talk with other organizers, probably some speakers of WordCamp Europe in our upcoming week as well. We are trying hard to promote, market WordCamp Europe from our into. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your valuable input for our podcast as well. And thank you everyone for watching us live, also the recorded version. See you in Italy.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
having us. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure,
bye-bye.
and see you soon.
Okay.
See
Thank
you.
you.